So I've been cleaning up one part of my room because my room is a total, let's just be nice about it. It's a filthy pigsty. Woo wee. So I started a little bit late. What happened was I really am getting into this story, and this is just really weird. It's a guy talking in a story, and he's watching a video and he's interacting with it. Then he wakes up and it's like, oh fuck. It's like really weird. It's just a really well written thing. So I'm listening to it while I'm cleaning. So anywho, I had a busy day. Since I don't have to deal with unenjoyment, and tomorrow I'm gonna go online and put the stuff in that I put in. So yeah, they're not hiring readily available for any of the firework places. I already wanted to tell you that. Oh boy. But they are accepting applications and whatnot, so it is what it is. So yeah. And let me go and share. And share with, we'll start out with X. And then we go to Snapchat. All right, Facebook. And I share it everywhere. And I share it everywhere. They didn't show TikTok. I get truly my whole haters. A lot of haters there for me on Mr. TikTok, So, yeah. So, here we go. So, I take vitamins and things, and I, been drinking this special homemade herb tea. Let's smoke some weed. And we are going to be talking about one of my favorite books. Excuse me there. Oh. Mr. Bombay, Mr. Bombay. So my cat's been kind of mad that we have only one toilet. So I'm trying to get 2 toilets in here for them, 2 sandboxes. We will be talking about this book. It's called Wake, Bake, and Meditate. And it's Evaluate Your Cannabis Spirit. I got this. It's by Carrie Connor. And they talk about journaling and stuff like that. But this is a really well written book. Wake, Bake, and Meditate. So they talk about meditating, all kinds of really, I call it good learning, thing. Something I'm pouring into myself. So when I went to go and, buy my alcohol, and there was this guy, they hired a new guy. I want to congratulate the owners. He's a looker. Oh, yeah. So anyway, I'm like, okay, Oh, hello. Hello, person. Don't forget to put your like. It helps with the algorithm. And why don't you just subscribe? We're talking about Wake, Bake, and Meditate. with Carrie Connor. I'm not talking with her. I'm just talking about the book. It's a very well written book. It's called Body, Mind, and Spirits. And Meditation Cannabis is also dealing. You can get this on Amazon. I do not know. Here it says $17.99 US. You might get it cheaper if you're Amazon Prime. So there we go. Wake, bake. I've had these. Okay, I'm cleaning my room. I got half the room because I have to put a monstrosity, something my son invented for the cat. And I got to put it in here, and I got to vacuum and stuff, and I ran out of time. So that's why I'm on here a little bit late, because I'm doing stuff. All right, Wake, Bake, and Meditate by Carrie Connor. This is a very well-written book. This is also, you know, how can I say this? It's a guide using cannabis to enhance your senses of spirituality, whether you want to use cannabis to have a peak experience, find your bliss, or send healing energies into your body, or make contact with the divine. Author Carrie Connor provides an easy step-by-step instructions how to. So I'm trying to give people an enlightenment. Yeah, I got weed and I'm happy. Woo-hoo. So with that, I have never used it. I bought the book and never used it. So we are going to go on a spiritual journey, and we will be talking about the book, and the things that are in the book I will try to do. As long as there's a barking at the full moon, so my neighbors, you know, they think I'm weird enough already, so let's not add to it, you know what I mean? Hello. Hi, Carrie. Good evening. Oh, well, have a good day at work over at Kroger. You know, a lot of people need groceries. I've had to go on welfare because I'm laid off. They said it's going to be a month. Yeah, I talked with somebody who I used to work there but keeps in contact with people. Yeah, so, yep. So it's good to see you, Carrie. Have a good day at work. You know, every time I go to Michigan and I go to the store I used to shop a lot at when the kids were little, and I went with my brother-in-law, and this is when I was still married. And what happened was, it always reminded me of going to Russia. It's if wintertime, you know, not many people are very happy, including myself. You know, I was there and it was like very dreary, just, you know, not happy. That's what happens when you visit a state that doesn't get much sun. And a lot of people, what they do, and this is what we had to do. My dad had the basement. He thought it was cool to put them with, it gives out UV light, they're lamps. Also, a lot of people use them to tan in. And my dad told one of my, how can I say this? He was telling a coworker that, and then they told an owner of our business, and he thought, well, wouldn't that be nice to put that in our thing? Not many people are getting that light. Everyone was getting tan indoors. I am not joking. I'm like, I had a tan line. That's how I knew. I'm like, did you talked with my dad? No, but your friend that came over to my dad's house, you know, and I worked with, hey, you should see where I grew up. Wow. Yeah, I impressed a lot of people because my family is impressive. They're like, wow, this is cool. So anyway, I went today. I quit eating at 12 o'clock in the morning, and I went I went to my appointment. It was like by the time I got seen, it was 1:20, so I went like 13 hours without eating. I ate a really big meal, and I was so filled like a tick. I was like, oh God. So it held me over all those times. So I went and I got my blood drawn, and it's a lot of blood that gets drawn for me because of the fact that I have a lot of tests I want to take to make sure I'm healthy. Every test you can think of, yes, I do every year. And if and this is what I tell people, and I told, you know, like my boyfriend, I get it done every year because unless I got something down there that's making my my private part's on fire. I'm good to go. And this year I had a UTI and it was not good. And I listened to my body. No, I know it's just starting. I said to the doctor, I listened to my body, and I anything to do with it's hurting to pee. No, it's not a good thing. So here I am. I'm smoking away. Here, let me show you my stuff. So I get everything tested, everything under the sun. And usually, you know, when I used to have I had a doctor in Vegas, but I didn't like her attitude. So finally she charged me 35 bucks for a call-in that she said, everything looks good. All right, bye. I was pissed. Oh, this is my other stuff. This is, there we go. Stuff from yesterday. It smells delish. I love it. Anytime I get new stuff, I'm like, ooh. This one is a lot greener. Look at that. I can see the difference. You can't really see it. You just see it like shadowed, but boy, it is darker. Oh, So, what I notice in, there we go. There we go. All right, I got to get some new numbers. So I got so I'm going to be smoking out of, what I do is I have these, I love them. When they get all filled up with the stuff, I put it in here, because when I used to re-smoke it in my thing, I have to soak it longer, and it's a pain in the ass. So instead of having to soak it longer, making my life, you know, I put it in these, and I can smoke longer in, you know, my other stuff I have. So, yeah. Hi, how are you? I've been talking about, I've been busy. I haven't had time to write or anything. I had decided last night at 12 o'clock I wasn't going to eat no more. I went to my doctor's visit. After, you know, by the time I see my, the lady who takes the blood, it was 13 hours, so I was good to go. They took my blood, and I don't know why they would need my whiz, but they take all that. They took my blood and whiz, and they take it to a different place and it gets dealt with. So I thought, wow, that's cool. I can deal with that. So I am going to see my doctor for the results by I think it's the 27th or 28th. I got the doctor card. So usually what they do, and the only thing I got pissed off is my doctor. I said, you know, not to be bogue, but if it meant me saving 35 bucks, you could have mailed me that. I could have opened it up and said, woo, I saved money. And she's like, oh, yeah, and pissed me off. You gotta think about, you know, if it's a bad talk, I'm gonna need to talk. I don't need it in a letter. But if it's like the same thing that I get, you know, where it's saying, you know, you're doing okay. And that's what it's been for, you know, ever since I lost my weight. I haven't had no health problems. When I think when I was 280, I had the most health problems. I would get severely cold. It was really weird. Most of my friends who were fat, well, I did sweat when most people weren't even sweating. I was a big girl. So what happened was, after I lost weight, I just don't have no problems. I even send my poop in the mail, and they evaluate it and tell me what's what. And yeah, I have no problem. Last was, yeah, so I'm due for one, I think next year, they're thinking. I said, I don't care. You know, my insurance covers it. I poop it. And then what I do is I call for the, you know, whatever. And when I get the information. What they do is they say, yep, you're good to go. So it's been that way for a while, and I'm very grateful. Grateful for my past health, things, hoping it, still the same way, because, oh yeah, it's good. So after I made this, I thought to myself, uh, you know, I picked up more weed. You know, it's not that expensive, and I got, let's see, the only bill I have left is my telephone and $60 for my storage. So, yeah. So God, please, please, let me have enough money to pay my bills. Amen. So that's where I'm at. I messaged my boyfriend, and he has not messaged me back in, like, I think 12 hours or so. I don't know where I stand with him, because he gets pissed off, and instead of him, and I know he gets busy at work, but he's home until sometimes 9 in the morning or later, and he could like set up shit. I can't be the late person, I already had a couple shots and was high as hell, and I could have been on the road, and he just, didn't. It was like, where is this relationship going? So it is what it is. You know, dear God, please give me an answer for what I'm going through with my relationship. Amen. Well, that's a blast from the past. Daniel just texted me. Oh, he's a boyfriend from the past. Oh boy, he's something. Mm-mm-mm. Wow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm getting to that part, because I get the stuff from here. What I do is I get the stuff from here and I put it in my joint, because then it doesn't get in my junk again, and you know. Oh boy. Well, it looks like, somebody said something. Wow. That's a blast from the past. So I'm gonna quickly say hi. I'm live right now. Let me. There we go. God dang, what is it? I always, it's like I'm always regurgitating my boyfriends and stuff. Oh, God. So I'm hoping, that I can get something going. Mm-mm-mm. So I have been cleaning. I had to, my son has this monstrosity of, it's a thing that has, it's a big box with a sandbox in it. and it's big enough where I can put one of the sandbox on top of the other one. So that's what I'm going to do. I will be here tomorrow. It should be 6-ish. If I don't, I left my phone in the car and I'm like, where the fuck is it? So I'm doing the ping thing. I go, ping my phone. I ask the thing and it's like, what do you mean? I don't hear it. Because usually I just leave it in the covers and I ping it to find it in the covers. But this time I found out I left it in my car because I go, I couldn't, yeah, I probably did. So I'm really excited, you know, well, I shouldn't get excited about being healthy, but a lot of people, when you get over the age of 40, I had a lot of my friends, either they were not feeling as well, they're, you know, I mean, different things, you know, that they find out, you know, just, it's weird. Like after the age of 40, my friends started dying. It was weird, you know. I was like, damn. The only ones I have left are my enemies. My friend Angie Binkley, she passed away. Beautiful, beautiful person. In fact, a shirt she gave me that she wanted to wear, I wore for my picture for my yearbook for the, it was, you know, being a senior. It was what her mom said, you know, that the shirt matched my eyes. And I said, yeah, it matches her eyes too. She's got blue eyes. She goes, see, it works for you too. She wanted to lose weight to fit into it. Then she got cancer. She fit into anything. God. Beautiful person. I miss her. So anyway, I've been talking about Wake and Bake and Meditate by Carrie Connor. And it is a really good book. I would suggest you to go to Amazon. Being that you have to take notes and stuff, this book is more or less, once you buy it, you're not going to be like giving it away unless you want to give it to someone to help them and you already know the stuff in here. This is where you write in it. I would suggest it's better as you getting it in snail mail 3 days later, and unless you really want to spend the extra money so you can read it just because you can't wait. Hey, it is what it is. You do what you want. I don't give a fuck. So here it is, you know, wake, bake, and meditate. And I am going to be going through this. You necessarily do not have to buy this in order to watch this. I'm just trying to be positive and do something positive, not just for myself, but for my viewers to, you know, watch. So if you love your weed as much as I do, this would be, you know, take your spiritual practice to a higher level with cannabis. So that's what I'm looking at. I was going to have puff and paint, but I tried that. So, and I tried puff and yoga, and sometimes it can be dangerous. No. So we're going to do Wake, Bake, and Meditate and talk about the book in depth and what we can do to make our spiritual guidance a lot better. I am using this as a teaching tool, not to make money. You can buy this book at Amazon. There we go. Wow. Wow, I've been trying to send out my thing and won't let me on X. I had problems with X. I quit X for almost 2 years because I was being stalked, and belittled on when it was Twitter. So when I got out and I just didn't count on snooze, I never came back. I hid it. It's not even where you can get it if you go to look for it. It's not on my regular thing. I hid it because when I had it out one time,